One of the hardest things for us as humans is to admit the reality of the situation. Wherever we are, whatever we do, we kind of have these imaginations of how things are supposed to be or how the world is supposed to work. And actually, in most of the cases, this is not accurate. So we kind of build our own fantasies, we kind of build our own ideas of where we are, and that can have extremely detrimental effects on our lives. Now, this is also a powerful tool that you can use to kind of move forward with your life if you do this systematically. But in most cases, we don't do that. We kind of let it happen with us, and it kind of just takes our life decisions for us. So today, we're going to have a look at the actual reality of the situation. Hello and welcome to the Artful Maestro Podcast. I'm your host, Nenad Leonart, and I am very happy to spend this episode with you today talking about all the things reality in our head. Now, you know, this is a podcast that is specifically tailored to classical musicians, how to tackle the challenges of the 21st century, both in personal development, but also music marketing, how to establish my career, how to get more gigs, how to earn more money. Well, today we are looking at the personal development type of stuff, and it is actually something that is going to reshape everything you do. Everything you think, how you approach your art, how you approach your career, how you approach your personal relationships, all of those are extremely tied together with how you perceive reality. It was very interesting to me. I had a mind-blowing experience a couple days ago. I sat into a presentation of 3D audio where a gentleman that I started working with lately, he kind of presented amazing new discoveries, and they played off this audio, and I was just completely thrown off everything that I ever expected, everything that I thought it could be, because it felt to me like I was standing in the room with that choir and that organ, right? So I was in a Dolby Atmos studio where you had a bunch of speakers on all sides, and so they could really create this 3D audio environment. And I was completely blown away. I've never, ever heard anything like it before. And that's crazy. So here we are, me and a lot other audio technicians like sitting in the audience that were studying there. And most of them, I noticed they kind of don't have the capability to take this in. They didn't have the mental resource to understand that this is something different than what they're already doing. And that's like the bias that we kind of have of not perceiving, because I think that what I've learned and what I know is superior either way. So go a step back and to understand, we all create like our own reality, our own perceptions of things, and everything that is kind of challenging that reality a little bit. Most people in the world, they'll just have a wall and they will not notice it. They will not go even near understanding what it is that they're actually experiencing. Not even that. Like, they kind of don't register it and they put it into a corner of their mind, and it kind of shapes everything of even how they perceive it. Probably they even went there and they didn't have the same experience as I did, because again, their mind wasn't able to provide them that experience, because it would have felt challenged that everything that they learned, everything that they spent their time on, everything that they kind of built their reality up onto, it kind of got challenged. And if something at the foundation or at the core of what we believe gets challenged, It either means that everything that we built kind of collapses, and so you have to start building anew, or it means that you need to kind of push it away and just not think about it because it's too threatening, because it's kind of taking away your existence, right? Which you built. So that's something to really, really think about. Really, really think about. Like, go and dive in and understand, wait, what I'm thinking is kind of shaping my reality, and then what I'm perceiving is being shaped by what I think that I'm going to be perceiving, and so on. And this has like multiple levels to it, up to just creating a whole life based on, let's say, a lie. Like, you can actually create a whole life based on a lie. And when I work with people, like when I have clients, when I have people that I coach or that I train, or that come with a couple issues and need some help with, we usually start with the problem and where it's going and what they want to achieve. But then usually, like, the symptoms of the problem, they are not problematic. It's some different part that is somewhere hidden outside of the awareness, and people just kind of try to create different realities so they don't have to think about that which is out of the awareness. I'll rephrase that. Let's say there are a couple things that you don't want to know about, like you don't want to remember, or experiences that you had that were pretty bad, or emotions that you didn't like, so you kind of repress it. That's what we call repression, right? And so it's kind of out of your awareness. It's somewhere in the back. Well, this thing is still going to be active, and it's going to shape how you perceive reality. Very basic example, let's say someone went through an infidelity in their relationship during their life. Maybe they didn't think about cheating before, like, could that happen to me or whatever? But then it happened. And from that point on, even if they don't want to remember the experience and they don't want to remember the emotions, they are kind of going into new relationships with the afterthought, I need to take care because I might get cheated on. You probably know this experience or something similar out of your own life. And so everything that we do, everything that we see, everything that happens to us is kind of shapes us, and it shapes our perception of future things. Looking at the relationship kind of thing, okay, so if we are always on the lookout, well, maybe this other person could be cheating, maybe not, but maybe they are. If we always think that, there's like a small part of our brain that creates a reality where this person is actually cheating, even if it's not even their intention, if it doesn't have to do anything with them. And I don't know, you've seen these on TV or something where like one partner accuses the other partner of doing something that has nothing to do with them. And so that's like projections, right? It's like thinking, oh, this is here and this is there. So what's the reality of the situation? Let's go back to the core of today's episode. What's the reality? The reality is that we are all pretty fucked up, okay? We are all having tons of issues, and we are all kind of trying to struggle with these issues through life, juggling everything around, trying to find the right energy to do the right thing at the right time, but then we kind of mess up, and maybe sometimes we give up, maybe sometimes we try harder, and so on. So the reality is, for most people, it's not fun. Maybe even for all people. There's so much baggage that we carry around. And what's going on with this? By looking at, let's say, social media, for example, but also every classical musician that I come across and I talk to them, almost all of them, they think, well, if I make it, right, if I get my career in order, if I make it to the top, my life is going to be fine. My life is going to be good. Like, I have issues now, But once I'm at the top or I achieve my goal, everything is going to fade away. Guess what? It's not. It's even going to be more intense. If you ever talk to the people who are on top, everything is more intense. Their life is more intense. The stress is more intense. Like the demands, everything that they're experiencing, it's really, really, really hard. And for many of them, this type of career that they're having isn't fun as well. And there's different reasons why they do it. But it's certainly not something that once you're there, you've kind of arrived and there's nothing more to do. And you can just, put your hands in the air and, order a cocktail on a beach somewhere and just hang out. It's more of the opposite of that. Any kind of problem, any kind of issue you have, it's going to be magnified. The more kind of success you have, the more money comes into play, the more important relationships come into play, all of your issues are going to be highlighted tenfold, 20-fold, and you are going to be confronted with the situation. That's the reason why so many newcomers, you can see them for maybe 1, 2, 3 years, and most of them burn out. Or they get some huge health issue, or they get some, psychological issue, and then they have to kind of stop performing or stop doing their career in the way that they've done it before. That's amazing if you think about it. It's a huge percentage of people. So the reality of the situation is wherever you think that you are, and it's going to be better if you only achieve that one thing, that somewhere in the future, it's not going to happen. It's going to be the opposite. Once you get thrown into that, it's going to be much harder. And you know what? A part of you knows it. A part of you knows. Maybe not all of your being, because there's still a part of you going oh, they have it easy. The people at the top, the people who are really successful, it's easy for them. I'm the one who struggles. But there's this other part that knows once that everything in my life kind of gets really serious, like my career advances, I need to take care of all this stuff, it's really scary. And you know that you don't have the tools to deal with that because all your problems are going to be magnified. So what to do in that situation? And there's only one thing to do in any kind of these situations. And this is what I work with people on. Because there's nothing that is nearly as powerful as this is. If you truly sustainably want to work and sustainably have a career that goes on for a very long time, the first thing you want to do is to look inward and to look at yourself and to ask yourself what's actually going on here. What are the patterns that I'm trying to replay over and over again? What are the pitfalls, the mistakes that I'm always making? And I kind of don't want to look at them. I kind of just want to close my eyes and pretend that I don't have these issues. It's fine. It's just temporary. Next year, it's all going to be better. Once I have more money, once I have everything in order, it's going to be fine. It's not. And it's not. I can tell you from personal experience, this is one of the reasons why once I found this teacher, I never wanted to change and go to another teacher again. Because I knew he has the capacity, not to teach me everything, but he has the capacity to really go in depth with me and to mirror my issues back to me that I have so that I can take care of them. Again, I'm going to bring out the relationship example. Why I did this is if with romantic relationships, for example, there's people who fall in love, they get into a relationship, and then they kind of have issues, problems start coming up, and then they don't solve these problems, but they just break up and say, okay, it's not you, it's me, or it's not me, it's you. And then they go and they come into a new relationship and then they repeat the same pattern over and over. And it's the same problems, just with different people, just different names, but the feeling is always the same. Like, that's crazy. Like, even the feeling that they have inside of the relationship is always the same. And they just keep on repeating it and repeating it. And it's always finding like a new kind of manifestation. It looks maybe a little bit from this side or from that side, but it's the same issue over and over again. And a lot of students also do that with teachers. So they kind of go to one teacher and then they, let's say, maybe hit a ceiling. And they say, okay, you know what? I think I've learned everything that I can from you. So thank you. I'm going to go and seek out a new teacher. And then they go to a new teacher. And then there's this period of getting to know each other. And then they kind of learn a little bit more, but the core issues, they remain the same. And they haven't learned anything about those. And they just kind of, again, hit the ceiling. And then they're like, okay, well, thanks, teacher, but I'm done. Let me go. And that's what's happening over and over again. Okay? That is the reality of the situation, unfortunately, because we have no other option as humans to go in depth. Usually when we come to such a moment, again, our brain either says, okay, there's something that is really wrong at my foundation, so I either look at it or I'm just going to run away and try to find the solution in another place. If you're fed up and if you feel like I'm really done with this, then I highly encourage you to stop and start writing things down. Start writing down everything that ever went wrong with you, like all the major life events, all the smaller things, and just start writing down everything that was kind of hurtful, that was kind of negative, that was kind of like a core memory type of thing. Start writing these down. And when you do that, try to, on one hand, honor the feelings that are associated with it, like the sensations that you get when you think about these things in your body. But also look at, can I see this pattern repeat itself everywhere? Or here and there and there? Because that is how you start to understand who you are at an unconscious level. Like, what's the stuff that you have put in the back of your mind and you don't actually want to think about, but that is actually running the show. And that is the reality of the situation, that you are, unfortunately, not running the show, no matter how much you want to be doing it. Because there are forces at hand that are much, much stronger. And I see this every day. Like, next to my music career and everything that I do here with Artful Maestro, I'm actually developing into a very new technique which goes really in depth into the human psyche. And you see, it's a funny thing. Like, last time I was doing this, a guy came up to me and said, oh, like when we do this, it's kind of like everybody strips down to their underwear. Like, you see everything. And then I said, well, no, it's even more. Like, you strip completely open, like even your skin, like people can actually look into your heart. That's like what's kind of happening there. A little bit of a over-exaggeration to just make you understand. First of all, we all have these issues. We all are facing that every day from the moment we get up till the moment we go to sleep. And so many of us are looking for the solution in the outside. And you'll see that people are running after careers. They're running after goals. They're running after, like, they're saying, this person has it so good. I want to do that as well. Like, I want to be like them. I want to earn in the same way that they do. They watch entertainment. They go and watch Netflix, or they hang out on YouTube. And they're feeding themselves with looking for the solution outside. While all the time, in the meanwhile, the solution was on the inside. And there was a part that was just really kind of hurting and that never got to have the attention that it deserves. And the more they are in the outside, the more they're ignoring the inside. And you'll see this also oftentimes with activists. Like any type of activists, people who are trying to change something, people who are trying to, they say, okay, this world isn't doing well, or this world needs to change in this direction or that direction, any kind of demonstrations. Most of these people are angry at the outside and they're looking for solutions to be provided by other people. They are not actually providing the solution themselves. And true growth and actual growth, to change the reality of the situation, is to actually start changing your own perception of reality. And you do that by working on yourself in depth. Because remember, these things that are running you, they are also changing on just how you see the world. Remember the cheating example? Once that happens, people kind of think, okay, everybody has got to be cheating. And before it happens, like nobody's cheating, or, oh, that's very rare, right? But then once it happens, it's like everybody's doing it. And this is also the bias that we have as humans. You can also go onto the street and be like, just looking at white cars. How many white cars are there? And then you'll start noticing that there are much more than you actually thought, because it's just like the focus bias. Whatever you focus on, you're going to see that repeated again and again and again. And this is also one of the methods how you can, once you start working on yourself, you can also start and take charge of your own perception of reality. I know that there is like a quote from Einstein where he said, okay, there's like these two different types of people who either see that the world is a good place or the world is a bad place, and that is going to shape their life. I don't remember the quote exactly, but I remember that he said something in that direction, and it stuck with me because that is ultimately true. If you think that the world is a friendly place, that is going to shape your perception of the world, and then people are indeed going to be more friendly to you. Is this really going to happen? No, but in the end, yes. But at the beginning, you will just start focusing on the more nice things that are happening. And believe me, there's so many nice things that are happening that we maybe just don't notice. And at the same time, if you are like the glass half empty person instead of like glass half full, then you will start seeing everything that is wrong. Everything that is wrong. Do you see how this may be applying to your whole music career? Do you see like how you kind of have been ruined from enjoying music just by going into music studies and having each week going to a teacher that tells you all the things that are wrong, and you start focusing on all the things that are wrong. And everything that you do in your practice and when you create stuff is you're focusing on all the things that are wrong. And probably you don't have a lot of self-esteem if you focus on all the things that are wrong. That's one of the main reasons why musicians don't post as much on social media, why they are afraid to put themselves out there, why they are just so unable to take the first step into marketing, because they have been conditioned by so many professors, teachers, peers to focus on what's wrong with them. And who does want to go out and say, hey, look at everything that's wrong with me, right? There's no way that that's going to happen. So take a step back, look at the reality of the situation, and understand that once that you are able to really understand yourself, you can start working on your inner beliefs, and your perception will follow. And once you see the glass as half full and the world as a friendly place, you will be registering these things more. You will become happier and happier. And you will be attracting even more these kinds of opportunities, because let's say somebody does something nice for you, right? And you notice this happening, and then you're appreciating and being kind to them for doing something nice for you. People who want to do something nice for others are much more likely to go to you and do that if you have a kind response. Let's say you think the world is not a friendly place, like a dangerous place, or the glass half empty. Somebody doing something nice for you, you could go like, what do they want? They have some kind of hidden agenda. And then you're not as appreciative, maybe, that they want to do that for you. Maybe they can sense some kind of emotion that is maybe not supposed to be there, and they'll go like, maybe they're thankful, maybe they're not. And the good energy is then going to go to another place where it meets good energy. So if you're radiating not the best energy, you are also going to attract people who are radiating not the best energy. You see how this works? This is like interconnected in so many different ways. And by the way, this interconnectedness and like the attraction of different people, that is one of the main reasons why I can't stress enough how important mastermind groups are. Like finding people who are on the same way as you, who are thinking in the same way as you, who are like, they're looking for a positive outcome. They are working on themselves. They're trying to advance their careers. And that is also why I am creating these groups, like these communities in Artful Maestro, but also outside. Like my whole life is filled with communities that I am in and that are contributing to my life, and I'm contributing to theirs. Like I always try to find the right people and then connect with them. And like my gift to you, or my service to all the classical musicians who want to grow and who want to better themselves in the 21st century and create like their favorite career of not even being able to imagine how great it's going to be, that's the Artful Maestro Inner Circle. So that's like a group that I've made. Their classical musicians can join for free. They have to apply. Like there are some group rules, obviously, but there are like-minded individuals that are all on the same path and that are able to give each other all these types of mindsets and energies and like this attraction of, okay, I want to go somewhere and I'm pulling everybody with me. And so if it's 10 of us who all have the same goal and want to go there, this is going to be extremely powerful. And I think here is the future of us as classical musicians. Not thinking, okay, the world is a dangerous place and I have to be like in this competition kind of thinking, and this guy could take my job away and this guy could endanger my position, but actually to just hug each other, like take each other by the hands and work together to make this a better place for classical musicians worldwide. Because I'm sure that we can do it, and we can do it by creating good energy, by helping each other out, by going way beyond what we have been taught, and just create a new world where all of this works in a different way. And the people and the audience and everybody who is amazed by that kind of music and that kind of energy, they will follow. Because that's automatic. Like the good energy will attract good opportunities. They will attract good people. They will attract fans who actually want to contribute to you because you are contributing to them. So these types of energies, they attract each other if you see that the world is a dangerous place, you will be attracting these people in these situations in your life. So there is no one solution. As a summary of today, there is no external goal. There is nothing that you can reach in your life that's going to make everything okay. Unless maybe you become enlightened and Buddha. Everything else, like getting this post, getting this job, winning this competition, getting this many concerts, getting paid this much this year, nothing is going to solve your actual problems. So don't be running away from them, but actually face the reality. Step up and write everything down that's going wrong, and then start working on it step by step by step. Because once you know what's going on, once you know what's wrong, then it's clear. And then you can take the necessary steps, be it yourself, be it with external help, be it with asking friends or family or like professional. That is how you can go from A to B. That is how you can actually become the person that is going to realize their whole potential. Not by looking away from your mistakes and pretending like everything is good, because you know deep down that it's not good and that there is something going on. So the sooner you start facing it, the better for you, and the better also for everybody else around you, and the better for us as classical musicians all around the world, because we'll have one more person who is up to the task of spreading this beautiful music to as many people as possible. I hope this got you really inspired and really kind of lit up the fire to say, you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough of that. I've had enough of my previous experiences, everything. I want to change. And if you want to do that, then I'm really happy for you. And I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. Do drop me some feedback, send me a message. Go join the Artful Maestro community, like the links down below. Whatever is good for you, I'm happy for you. I really hope that you go and take the first step toward becoming your best self. Have a good one, and see you in the next episode.